Hello everyone, I'm your host 2005 Guy02. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update as to my soundproofing project. Now first up, I must say that I am not a builder. I'm not professional in any way in building industry. DIYer at best, basically a noob to it actually, to be honest. I primarily specialize in PCs. Basically home build, gaming PC, normal PC, you name it. Haven't done a server yet. I'd like to do a server, but I can't afford 10 grand. So that said, we just recently moved into a house in Suffolk by the docks, and it's on one of the main roads, and it is so noisy in this house. When we were looking at the house, and I went, yeah, this is definitely going to be my bedroom. It's a 5 by 4 by 3 square meter bedroom. And I went, yep, this looks good. Not much in the way of noise, that's fine. And what little noise there is, then that's okay. It's not that bad. It won't come across the microphone. We moved in. My father went off for the last bunch of crap that was left behind. The 158 miles from here. And that night was insufferable. It was extremely noisy. So noisy, in fact, that I couldn't sleep for the first 2 nights. So I went, screw this. I'm going to make at least a small soundproof area. Not sure if it's going to work or not, but it's necessary. And because the reason why I've got shielding underneath the floor now, which you guys should be seeing anytime soon, is because the power company, they want to put a smart meter in the house. I went to them, there is no way in hell you're going to put a smart meter inside my house. And I say my house because I own the mortgage on it, and I don't have a job yet. So that's fun. Speaking of noise levels, there goes a bike just right in front of the house. So basically, noise level wise, we have the docks right behind us. I would say that's about 20-25 meters. Then on this side of it, there is a railway line which has got the station about 300 yards from the house. Then there is a small gap, and then a main road, and then no garden, just a house. And the noise level, as you could hear from that bike, is unacceptable. The glazing is double glazing. The wall is weird. Bear in mind that this house is extremely old. It predates electricity. And basically what they've done is they've downstairs it's double brick, maybe even triple brick thick. No insulation, just a thin layer of plaster on the outside and the inside. Double glazing for the windows. The upstairs is weird, especially in this room. Bearing in mind this is the room closest to that bloody road. This room is a case of it's render on the outside, single brick, an air gap, then plaster, no insulation in between the two of them, and then that's it. The room size is a nice 5 meter wide by 4 meter depth by about 2.5 meter high. Initially I thought it was 3 meters because I can't touch the bloody ceiling when I'm standing normal. Even on my toes I can't touch the ceiling, it's that high. So initially I thought it was 3 meters high, but after logging up 2.4 meter long beams up the stairs, and having them standing straight up, I'm going, well, maybe it's about 2.5 meters high, but either way, I still can't touch the ceiling. Bear in mind, I'm about 1.8 meters height, so yeah. So I decided to, well, my initial plan was to shield the entire house, well, my room at least. And he went, no, there's no way in hell you're putting aluminum foil on the ceiling. So I went, okay. So I decided to start with the network first, because the network, it needs doing. So I pulled up a portion of the laminate flooring, and to my surprise, there was no insulation or soundproofing for the laminate. Instead, there was a layer of chipboard, and these boards are massive. They're 2.4 meters by 1.22 meters by about 80 centimeters thick. Sorry, 80 millimeters thick. So these things are absolutely massive, and there's one with this tiny square cut out of it, because the previous owner, without planning permission, decided to put solar panels on the roof. But to get the cables downstairs, they decided to cut a corner out of the floor in order to get this 60 amp cable through the floorboards and then downstairs into a very unsafe looking box. All the cables are loose, and yeah, I don't want to even go near it, even though that's where the fuse box is as well. But that all said and done, when I found out that I couldn't get the network cables underneath the floorboards, and I had already pulled up the laminate and at least one of these gigantic boards, I went, screw it. I wasn't planning to do the floor. Pulled up all the laminate flooring, pulled up all the boards, and I went, well, they want to put smart meter in the house. It's going to go underneath my bedroom. I do not want to put up with the radiation that these bloody devices thump out. So I decided to insulate my floor using aluminum foil. That is now covered the entire floor underneath, well, just on top of the floorboards, and it's also earthed because it's attached to the railing. Sorry, not the railing, the what's it called? Sorry, it's late, and I'm having I'm extremely tired because of all the work I've been doing today on it. But radiator, that's the word I was looking at for. So I attached it to the radiator. It's complete encircles it, so it's fully earthed. So any signal that tries to bounce up gets denied and gets sent straight back down. Now, the reason why I say that the smart meter dishes out radiation is because, for an example, the Wi-Fi, if you've got a network, is usually 2.4 gigahertz, unless you've got an N router, which should be able to go up to the 5 gigahertz range. Now, the reason why I switch off that 5 gigahertz range, and I don't want to have anything to do with the smart meter, let's put it this way: a microwave dishes out 2.4 gigahertz worth of EM radiation, the same as a Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and what was the other device? The TV signal, wireless signal boosters. They're also 2.4 gigahertz. There's actually quite a lot of devices that go on 2.4 gigahertz, and nobody knows about it. Now, a smart meter is 5 gigahertz. That's more than double the radiation of a microwave, a standard network, or anything else for that matter. And you can't see, taste, or smell radiation, but it is extremely bad for the body. So I decided to at least insulate the floor, and where I'm building my my soundproof room, that's going to be a Faraday cage, as it were. Granted, I haven't figured out how I'm going to put a ventilation system in there yet, so I'll probably be cooking my brains out during the summer. But don't tell anyone that yet, because I still have to figure that out. So that all said and done, I decided to put the chipboard flooring back down, and I built a nice looking box. I built all the frames myself using a 2.4 meter by what is that? 36 millimeter by 44 millimeter beams. I cut those. I kept the long line version, the one that goes through the width of my room. I put those down as the full 2.4 meter long. So it's going to be a nice little section within my room. Of course, it does take a big chunk out of my room. And then that said, I put some loft insulation that cuts the noise levels down by minus 12 decibels. So that should help a little bit. I've put the aluminium foil. I had a nice chunk of it still sticking out of the floor, so I could attach it to this Faraday box, well, which will be a Faraday / soundproof box. And I've just recently put the chipboard up the front of it, and I've putting what's it called, cork attached to the loft insulation to give it that additional soundproofing quality. It looks like I overestimated the amount of gap that I would have left, so I might put floor insulation in between it just to give it that more of a soundproofing effect. Then after that, I'll be boarding the inside of it up. As you might be able to see from the photos, I'm not sure how far we're through it yet. I've also started to insulate, putting aluminium foil up on the walls as well, up until where the beams will be. I've still got a couple beams that have got to go in. They're all cut to length. I'm just waiting for at least this side of the wall to be finished, which is the main one that is opposite my window, and where all the noise is basically already hitting. Even though I haven't finished the sidewall yet, if I have my window open and I'm standing behind this self-built wall, it does cut down the noise down quite a bit already, but I don't want to have the window open and have the noise still come through while I'm recording. So the plan is to take the last two chipboard beams off after having marked them, cut them back down. Now I'm using a table saw inside my bedroom while I still sleep in my bedroom. And I have to say that this thing gives out a humongous amount of dust. I completely utterly underestimated it, but the only reason why I'm doing it inside is because the weather hasn't been very nice over the last 2 weeks. So I went, I can't wait anymore. I'm gonna have to do it inside my room. Just have the window open every now and again, have the dust feed out the window. Unfortunately, the device isn't as close to my window as I would like it because I've got too much crap still in my room. So in between all the recording that I've been doing lately and the building work, I've been basically storing all that stuff off up to the right sizes. At least I hope they're all right. And I've been basically working on this, and it's going a lot slower than I initially planned, and that's because sourcing the materials has been quite slow. I've been going backwards and forwards to the local wicks, walking this wood home and materials, and basically the reason why I'm walking it is A, my car is too small for it, B, I need the exercise because I still have yet to find a proper job. So I'm hoping that I'll get this little soundproof area finished soon, and we can do some proper recording without the reverb, and I can put the microphone back to the normal levels and everything else. I've got sound quality materials which will also go in, but I'm a little bit skeptical as to how well that stuff works, bearing in mind how expensive that stuff is. It's like the rolls of soundproofing material for on the floor, which I also bought before moving here, and those rolls are I think it's also 1.2 meters in height, but when you unroll it, it rolls out to 3 meters long. So not completely sure how I'm going to get it in here after having seen all these beams on, of course. And bear in mind that that's supposed to go underneath laminate flooring where my father wants me to have the carpet. I'm going, no, I'm not putting a carpet in here, not with all that noise. So I've got enough materials to soundproof the floor completely, as well as do a little bit more work on the room, the little box. What I'm going to do with the ceiling is I'm going to put a couple more beams in, also get more of this loft insulation, a little bit more of the cork, because I'm not sure how much money I've got left, because this has cost me probably in the region of, well, including the tools, £800. No, more, because I had a total of 2,100 when I left work. I've got about 500 left, and I've been eating out here and there. So yeah, probably about £1,200 on parts and tools and glue and nails, screws, lots of screws, tons of screws, new drill, and yeah. So it's been quite the trek, and I'm hoping it will be done soon so we can get some better videos done, and I won't be too tired when actually recording, like I have actually been with the last couple of episodes. I've been completely knackered and trying to get at least a handful of videos for the role-playing games out, which I have up until I think the 9th covered at the moment. So they're starting to run out, and I have only up until tomorrow for the survival games, which is tomorrow one is going to be Space Engineer, so I'll try and get this little clip out today, and that's it. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed my little project. It's starting to get there, starting to take shape. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the door. The door will have to be self-made, and yeah, that's going to be a fun project too. But yeah, I'll leave it all there with you guys. So I hope that you've enjoyed my little explanation as to what's been going on for the last month, and all the aggravation I've had to put up with bits and pieces arriving late. or not arriving at all because of web issues and other things. And my little explanation as to why smart meters are bad, and you have to avoid them like the plague, or avoid them like the coronavirus. That's all scammongering from the politicians. They should close down the border as soon as it appeared, but they didn't. They're all stupid. But then again, they want to kill off humongous portions of the population anyway. That's why they released the virus onto a population in the first place. But I won't go into those details. It's not really my area of expertise, but I know what I've learned. But yeah, I'll leave it all there. So if you've liked what you've seen so far, please leave a like. If you didn't, please let me know why. Also, if you're not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button to help the channel grow. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now. Oops, did I have to Oops, wrong thing.